US President Joe Biden will hold a virtual meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping tomorrow. The White House said they hope the discussion will create stability between the two nations. Let's go to Joe Siracusa, as we always do on a Monday. He's our political analyst and professor at Curtin University, of course. Joe, what's going to come out of this?
Good morning, Pete. Well, look, hopefully we can stabilize the dialogue between Beijing and Washington. Pete, we're trying to avoid the clash of the titans at home. And we're very, very close to conflict or war with China over the South China Sea, Taiwan, now the nuclear buildup. So, you know, it's time for wiser heads to get involved and try to see what they can do. And there's room to build on. There's a little bit of improvement in trade. They cut a deal with the CFO in Canada and from Huawei and things like that. And they've agreed to do something for global climate the other day. But look, we're marching towards war. And it's important that they put a stop to it right now. Now, there are war parties in China. There are people who want to draw the sand in the line. There are war parties in Washington. And God knows there are war parties here in Canberra and all the rest of it. But look, there isn't anything that's going to be safe if there is one hour of general nuclear war in that neck of the woods. The Americans will get wiped out of Guam and in Okinawa. People will be on the climate. There'll be refugees all over the place. I mean, everything will just go by the woods. So it's very, very important. And what Biden has to do is sort of reassure the Chinese that he doesn't want a Cold War. And the Chinese have to reassure Biden that they're not going to go to war with Taiwan without provocation or something like that. So there's plenty of room to work on here. And they also have to, I think it's very important as a nuclear weapons specialist that they set up some kind of a dialogue or security dialogue about nuclear weapons. I mean, that's the number one issue that we really have to worry about.
Well,
so look, the stakes are very high, Pete, and I think it's well to pay very close attention to what goes on.
Whatever happens, though, at the end of the day, can China be trusted?
Well, look, I was a great student of the Cold War. No one trusted the Soviet Union as far as you could see them. You know, we trusted them with satellites and verification and all the rest of it. I think the Chinese can be trusted if we could see what they're doing, okay? Satellite surveillance and all that kind of intel allows us to see exactly what. And, can they trust us?
Yeah, well, that's what they would think. They'd turn that question on me, saying, can we trust the West? That's what they'd say.
Well, I think they can trust us to avoid it. Now, the thing that we have to do is get the human rights off the front burner. You know, we know all about the Uyghurs and all the rest of it. But there are some things at stake here, and that's the future of the human race. I mean, these two nations are on a collision course. I've been watching it for 5 or 6 years here, and there are a lot of people who think that we could have sort of a dust up and we'll survive. Well, actually, we're not going to survive. Can we trust them at the end of the day? No. Can we verify things? Yes, we can. And, I like to say that if you're in negotiations with somebody and you want to see whether they fulfilled it or not, just watch their feet and don't look at their mouths. See which way they're moving on different things. And I think the Chinese are sensible enough. And, of course, the other thing today is going to happen is that the president of China is going to invite the president of the United States to attend the Winter Olympics. And, of course, Biden has got to make a terrible choice here. He does. He's going to go against a lot of people in Washington who want a diplomatic boycott. Of course, the G7 is thinking of a boycott. So it's maybe a trap for him. But I'll tell you what, he can invite me to the Winter Olympics. I love the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I do too. I've actually covered a few of them. They're a lot of great fun, and they're great to watch too as a spectator. But all of that aside, Joe, good to see you. We'll chat to you soon.
Good to see you.